good morning, good afternoon, good evening for you, Suzila.
Good.
Welcome. I'm very happy that you are here with me today. And yeah, uh, let me introduce you
Okay.
first. Um, Suzila Zaid is a long-time instructor in Malaysia care, massage and traditional women's care, especially during pregnancy, childbirth, postpartum, with over 16 years experience in a spa
Mhm.
lecturing.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. We, Switzerland and I planned a unique workshop in Prague in April this year, but due to the actual situation and security limitation of a COVID-19, we have to postpone it to an open date,
Mhm.
to undefined date. And so we got this idea to have a short talk, a conversation
Mhm.
about Bengkung and how it is embedded in the whole context of a holistic Malaysian care. Um, so, would you like to introduce a little bit the Malaysia care and which philosophy and principles does it have? And
Okay. 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 Thank you, everyone, or thank you for having me. Yes, here is already evening. Okay, but nonetheless, I'm happy to see Zuzana finally. Okay, been waiting for this for our session, our workshop session for so long. Finally, I'm here on your screen. Okay, so I'm going to go briefly on the pre and postnatal care in Malaysia. Okay, but firstly, let me introduce to you or briefly tell you that Malaysia is a multi-racial country with three major races in Malaysia. Most okay, which is the highest will be the Malay. I'm Malay,
Mhm.
and the second one will be Chinese, and the third one would be Indian. And then the rest will be a small ethnics, okay, from other race as well. So across this race, okay, we comes to at this at this time, we come to the conclusions that for when it comes to pre and postnatal care, so mostly agree that or mostly are following the Malay style of or practice of pre and postnatal, including Chinese and also Indian as well. So to tell you about the pre and postnatal care, the Malay style is started a long time ago. Um, way before I was born, way definitely before Susanna was born, but it's been practiced for long time already. So when we talk about postnatal, let's just go straight to the postnatal. Okay, so postnatal, we actually have two ideas or two principles. Okay, when it comes to the postnatal, first it will be the care on from the outside, which is good. Okay, the care from the outside where you have all this application of paste, powder, the heat using the tungku, and also the binding part, which we're going to go to, okay, in details on the Bengkung side. Another thing, and the second principle is by the food, the one that you are eating, because the thing is your body, okay, your body is being influenced by the environment and also by the things that you eat. Okay, so when it comes to Malay, is considered as the most complete practice because they have a recipe for postnatal as well for the mothers to be consumed. There are certain rules, things that they can eat, things that they cannot eat, okay? And of course, the one that they use it for the outer side, okay? Um, just briefly guideline what we practice normally for Malay. Okay, basically this confinement or postnatal care normally it will stretch over 40 days of period. That is a must. But some people they go extend to 100 days as well. But that will be a strict on certain diets and certain practice. So that one. And it's also common that normally Malay, when they gave birth, they will go back to their parents' house because these are the times that women, we call it the most uh, fragile or the most sensitive period of women's life. Okay, so they need many supports from everyone. So normally they will go back to their home parents. Okay, so that the parents can take care of this new mother.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's actually goes to your questions. Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Go
The
back to you.
Bengkung technique has become
Mm-hmm.
established in the US and in Europe also as a part of the postnatal care. And
Yes.
we call it traditional Bangkok. It's practice above all. And I've learned from you that there are several types of Bangkok. Could you please
Mm-hmm.
briefly explain how they work and how they differ to each other?
Okay. So I'm going to show you a few pictures, okay, of the Bangkok. Yeah. So
Mhm.
let me just share my screen. Bengkong have different type of Bengkong actually. Okay, but the one that commonly practice, okay, or commonly known would be three. One is Bengkong Jawa. Some people call it Java, but actually it's called Jawa. Okay, Bengkong Jawa or Lilitan Jawa. So this is the picture, the one that I'm showing to you. This Bengkung Jawa, okay, is like a piece of white cloth, okay, is about 1 feet width and it can go long as 15 meters or 20 meters, okay. And if you see these knots, this is actually one kind of knots. They actually have three kinds of knots using the same cloth. But I think this is the most easy one, okay. But importantly to know that, okay, as you can see, the length, can you see my arrow here?
Mhm.
Okay. So importantly, when we do this bengkong, okay, three things. Okay, overall, the bengkong is to achieve three things. The first one is actually to lift up the wombs. Remember, after you gave birth, you push the baby out, so your womb kind of go down a bit.
Mhm.
So this is the role that bengkong is playing to push up the womb to go back to its original place.
Mhm.
The second things about this bengkong, the bengkong is also to correct your posture.
Mhm.
Okay, to correct your posture, especially when you are breastfeeding. Many mothers they forgot when they are breastfeeding they tend to hunch,
Mhm.
so it will actually affect your spine posture. So this bengkong is all the bengkongs is meant to correct your posture, especially during your breastfeeding.
Mhm.
Then the third one to achieve with this bengkong is that to realign back your muscles from from the postnatal muscles to go back to its pre-pregnancy posture or the muscle. And this is also where the diastasis recti that we will address to. Okay. Now, this Bengkung Jawa, okay, as you can see, to achieve that effect, to lift up the womb for your posture and to realign things, one thing that I will highlight is that this bengkong should start from below of your butt,
Mhm.
and then it will go all the way until below of the breast line. Okay, then that's how they actually realign your spine posture. Okay, so this one is the Lilitan Bengkung. This one is considered the modern type. This is also, we call it Barut.
Mhm.
Barut, yes. Why it's called Barut? Because we actually have a smaller version of this kind of cloth, which is we use for the baby as well. Okay, so it comes in a piece of big cloth, and then with a special loops like this. This loop is for you to zigzag the strings into, so that you can pull together and then tighten the bengkong. Okay. Again, this one also will start from below of the butt and all the way until below of the breast line.
Mhm.
Okay. But with this, you have to be careful. You have to be careful because the thing is, if it's not it, it will be a good bengkong if it can hold up your muscle. Some 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 practitioners, when they do this, so the flesh will start to come out from this gap.
Mhm.
Okay, so this will defeat the purpose because we want to tighten the muscle here, but instead the flesh starts to come out through the gap here.
Mhm.
Okay, so that one. But this one is very easy for self use. For someone who don't have anyone to help, this is quite easy to put on.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is barut, and this is what we call it stagen or selendang.
So,
But for yes, but for Balinese they call this as stagen.
right.
Okay, this is a special, yes, this is a special material that actually will hold the lilith, the circle of the stagen. It holds together, and as you can see, if you properly apply it, you won't see any loops coming out.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like this one, there's a possibility of flesh coming out through the loops. This one, you won't have that problem.
Mhm.
Okay. And then another thing is that this one, they comes either they will comes between 8 to 12 meters long.
Mhm.
So this one is easy to adjust to any kind of body. Okay, so this one. Now, one thing, if you ask me which one of these that I prefer to use, do you know which one, Susanna?
This one.
Yes. Do you okay? The one good one my big reason why I prefer to use this one is that most of my customers they go through C sections of operation.
Okay.
Yes, with C sections, this is considered the safest to be put on.
Oh. Mhm.
Yes. This one, there's some adjustment that you need to do when the customer had a C-sec. This one, these loops have to be by the side,
Mhm.
not at the front here. And this one is totally no for the C-sec.
Mhm. It's a good
Okay?
point. Mhm.
Huh?
It's a good point.
Yes. So that's the thing. And this one, if you can feel the texture of the one that you have, is
Mhm.
kind of thick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's very firm material that will hold together and very tight to hold your posture in a correct way. That's one thing. And this material also retain the heat.
Mhm. Mhm.
So when we talk about the muscle on the tummy,
Mhm.
I'm sure you've heard about diastasis recti, the fat by the back at the hips there also. Okay, so these ones is actually very good because it retains the heat, which soften the muscle and also fat together.
Mhm.
So when you apply this, when you use this bengkung, okay, it sort of like starts to melt down all
Mhm.
this fat, excessive fat, so that you go slim down a bit. And of course it soften the muscle, especially on the abdominal area, so that it goes back to original place. Now, how can I ask you, what would be, how long is it good to retain or to wear this bengkong?
I think it's just up to how how much you would like to move in the postpartum. With a
Uh-huh.
with a second child, probably you have to move more. The mother had a little bit more, so she would like to wear it longer than
Mm-hmm.
the premature mother that would like to spend more time in the bed or in a lying position. But I'm interested in your argument about
in order to make it effective, the minimum would be 5 to 6 hours.
wow, so much.
Yeah,
Wow, I'm
that's
impressed.
the minimum.
Okay. Mhm.
But if follow the original one, it will be 23 hours. Yes.
Wow.
If it's Malay traditional way, it
Wow.
will be 23 hours. Yes.
Daily.
And for the huh?
Daily.
Daily throughout the 40 days.
Wow. Wow. It's a long time. Okay. Didn't expect that. That is true.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that one. But not only that, the bengkung, okay, this is actually good to be wear with a certain paste.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now the thing is, bengkung, this is only part. How do I say? This is only one part out of uh, six parts of the postnatal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if let's, I'm going to go back to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
So the thing is, Bengkung is one of the six parts of the postnatal program. Actually, we call it a program because the thing is, program is the things. It's a session. It's a complete sessions of doing the care, starting from the massage, tungku, vaginal steaming, herbal bath. Then only after cleanse and everything, then they will start to put the paste and also then wrap with the bengkong. Now, the thing is, the idea is that to prepare the body, to soften the body. Oh, I forgot to tell you that the best practice to do the postnatal program is actually in the morning.
Oh, in the morning. Okay.
But
There's about 3 hours. So you have to 1 hour in the morning to to go through the massage, um, vaginal steaming, take a bath, and then get a banking for the next 23 hours and to start again in the morning. Okay, I got it.
all right. So that's the thing. Okay, but never mind. Okay, I've done, most of my customers are European and also Western, so I've done to them, and I understand that there's a challenge. Okay, but yeah, so that's why I said that the minimum for it to be effective is 5 hours. You know that I actually asked my customer before they sign up me that they have to keep it for 5 hours at least. They have to promise me. Okay. So anyway, so the thing is, but this bengkong is actually especially good if you wrap it after you use the tungku first.
Mhm.
Have you seen the tungku?
It's a metal one. It's a piece of wood
Mm,
used and a cooker. Yeah, it's like in a gas or something like that.
yes, yes.
So that,
The the idea is that to soften the muscle first, especially on your tummy area first. When it's soft, it's easily molded.
Mhm,
Then after that, you will start apply certain paste. This paste is actually the one that astringent, the one that release the water from
mhm,
this tummy area, and also it's very hot. That actually it goes deep,
mhm,
and if you combine with the correct technique and everything, so this is also the one that will release the blood clotted from inside your womb.
mhm, mhm.
Mm. Then after that, when you wrap it together, so it works better.
And instead of the tingle, did you also use herbal balm, uh, herbal compress?
Yes,
It's possible that
you have the options. You have the options. Oh, there are certain situations that I will use the metal tungku, but there are also other situations that I will use the herbal compress for a different target. Mm.
and couldn't wait that we could go more in the deep in our workshop because it's a good point when to use the first one or the second one. That's oh,
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It's always interesting to share it with you all.
looking forward. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Susanna?
We stayed with a tungu that we had to stop to the muscles and then go ahead to direct to Bangkok or first vagina steaming, then it's taking the bath, then natal tungu and or hydro
The
compress,
sequence? The
then
sequence. The best practice is that to go for massage first together with tungku or compress, then go for the vagina steaming, then go for the bath, and then apply all the paste, then wrap it with binder. Bengkung. Okay.
we talk about a little bit before we start our talk that
Mm-hmm.
I saw once when we demonstrated Bangkok that the women we
Mm-hmm.
demonstrated on her goes through a mental process while mm, applying Bangkok, and maybe you have experiences with that, and maybe you could tell a little bit about how is it for the not only for the body, but how is it for the mental health and for maybe releasing some stress or some emotions regarding the giving birth before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We, as I mentioned earlier, that after giving birth is the moment that women mostly fragile at that time. Their emotions, their bodies. Okay, so the sometimes what happens to their body give effects to their minds as well. Okay, sometimes they might feel not comfortable, but they don't know how to explain it. I had this customer. I had this customer. She's a Canadian, and this is her second child. When I did on her, um, she's a very active person. But after giving birth to this second child, she kind of a bit slow and a bit moody and kind of like not herself. She's not, we call it chariot. She's not that lively. Okay. So when I did on her, she told me that the next day, she told me that 5 hours is difficult for her. But the thing is, she felt very comfortable with the bengkong that she didn't realize before the bengkong parts, she actually dragging her body. So that's why she's not so energetic kind of things. Yes. Then when we bind when I bind her, I wrapped her with the bengkong. What happens that she feel like she's holding herself together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feeling. She's holding herself together and she kind of like, okay, so she's in control of her body. And that's the time that she feels that, oh, is it is helping her and she's more able to express and be like herself before. Okay, so that one. And also during this moment also, women, we are kind of like, we like to talk, but sometimes when you don't have people that wants to listen, so we hold it together. So when we as a practitioner or as a doula, when we are nearby them, okay, when we show the care, we give the attentions to all the detail. Yeah, lah. We show, we turn to them, we care for them, asking how they are and everything. So it's kind of like, okay, she have a place that she can talk to. So that is, it's a normal things. It's a normal thing. So bear in mind that as a doula or as a practitioner, you are not only trying to heal them, their physically, but you also caring for their emotions as well.
Yeah. Mhm. That's a good point. That's a,
Okay.
yeah. It was such a great talk about as a very small part of your traditions and of your job you are in love with.
I
it's,
am, I am.
it seems to me, and it's so wonderful to listen to you. And I hope the time would come as soon as possible, please, that we will meet each other in Prague for a workshop and could enjoy practicing all these things we were talking about.
Mm, I hope so.
And
Okay.
I hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, sure. I hope so. Okay.
Thank you very much.